Welcome back. Joining us now is Dr. John Wu from the BC Cancer Agency. Hi there, Dr. Wu.
Hi, Michelle.
We're going to take a look at a question that we have from our Person of the Week, Dan St. Andrews. He's going to start things off for us.
Sure.
I guess ever since being treated for throat cancer, my big fear is, will I get cancer in the future in another part of my body?
That's a really legitimate question, and I'm sure it's one you hear a lot from people at the agency.
Absolutely. So that really depends on the original cancer itself. And what we know is that traditionally throat cancers were associated with heavy smoking and perhaps alcohol use. And if this particular cancer was smoking and alcohol associated, even if we cure a patient of the original throat cancer, there is still a risk that that particular patient could develop another smoking-associated cancer in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And those cancers are typically related to the esophagus or your swallowing pipe, the bladder, and lung cancer. What we've seen here in British Columbia, though, is that we've seen a shift over the last 20 years. We're quite fortunate in BC in that we have such a healthy, health-conscious, fitness-conscious population that starting in the 80s, we started to see a significant decrease in smoking habits. And so now we've seen a shift from smoking-associated throat cancers to non-smoking associated throat cancers. And we're not exactly sure what the cause of these new throat cancers are. It could be related to an infectious agent or a virus. But fortunately, if one is cured of a throat cancer that's not associated with smoking, then really that cancer isn't associated with any other cancers in the body.
For those people who do end up with throat cancer, what is the protocol these days? What does someone have to prepare themselves for?
Right, so that's a very good question. That, in terms of treatment, that really depends on where the cancer is and really how big it is. So in principle, if it is caught early, it is highly curable, and the smaller the cancer, of course, higher the cure rate. If it is a small early cancer, then one could have either surgery or radiation treatment. The guiding principle is that as a cancer gets bigger or more advanced, for example, it spreads to the lymph nodes in the neck, then you sort of need help with 2 or more treatments, either together at the same time or one after another.
What can you speak to around this, what we can look forward to in terms of addressing throat cancer in this case, but cancers in general?
Right, so in general, I mean, or in particular throat cancers, what we've seen over the last 10 to 15 years is a definite shift from just treating the cancer itself to being more aware of the potential side effects, not just short-term during the treatments, but long-term after the treatments. Because we are finding that we are starting to win the war in certain types of cancers because of awareness and our healthy population here in BC. We're finding that we are finding cancers earlier, which of course influences outcomes and survival rates. Because more of our patients are surviving and surviving longer, we have to be much more aware of the long-term side effects. So when we're looking at treatment options now, if we have 2 different options that have perhaps similar cure rates, the way we choose one over the other, together with the patient of course, is to consider all the potential side effects and long-term effects.
I love a couple of things you said especially. One is clearly there's much more elegance and sophistication and ability to be sensitive to the person who is going through the treatment. The second thing you said that is so wonderful to hear is together with the patient. So it becomes a team effort instead of just take care of me, do what you have to. There becomes, I would imagine, a feeling of efficacy and empowerment on the part of the patient that must help with the healing process.
Absolutely, and I think that's a key component in terms of patients being able to get through treatments and then coping with the side effects and healing process afterwards, is that they need to feel like they are a key member of the team, and they are a key member of the team. So when we talk about potential treatments and side effects, they get the final say. They're the team captain or the quarterback. We get inspired by our patients almost on a daily basis, and there are different things, you know, different components of each patient that will inspire us. But the common theme is their attitude. And each patient, it's quite an individualized process. Each patient will sort of have their own aha moment at different points during the process. And it's nice to see when they finally achieve that aha moment and they sort of see the light, either, you know, I'm almost through treatments, or their first follow-up visit and we can't see the cancer anymore, and they get this, you know, bright light that, you know, I think we're on the right path. Everyone is on their own individual journey. And that can vary. I mean, just like you and I, they can have a good day or a bad day. They could have, you know, they could have woken up on the wrong side of the bed. Maybe on a particular day they have more side effects than another day. But, you know, if they have a bad day, the good thing is that means they'll have a good day.
This too shall pass.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Dr. John Wu, thanks so much. It was a lot of really great information.
Great. Well, thanks for having me.
Thanks. We'll be back in a moment.
North of 49, a guide to the rest of your life.